Hey there, folks. Today on r/Am I the A-hole, OP basically calls their son a snitch for catching cheaters. In this Reddit story, our young hero gets entangled in a classroom controversy that involves, wait for it, a sting operation and a cheating scandal, plotted by the teacher. Alrighty, let's dive in. Am I the jerk for telling my son that I'm not proud of him after he helped his teacher bust half his class for cheating? My wife and I have two sons, 15 and 9. This relates to the older one. He does pretty good in school, and most teachers have nothing but good things to say about him. Apparently, one of his teachers asked him for help catching some kids cheating. The teacher left some fake test answers on his desk and pretended to go to the bathroom. Our son then showed as many people the answers as possible before the teacher came back in. Then he helped the teacher identify who had looked at the answers. We only heard about this a couple weeks after the fact. Apparently, said teacher got into some trouble because more than half your students failing an exam looks bad for you as well as them. It was only then that our son revealed the part he played, and that some kids at school were angry at him for helping the teacher. I told him that while kids shouldn't be giving him trouble about that, and I'd help stop it if need be, he shouldn't be surprised. I told him he doesn't always need to suck up to authority, and 5 extra points on the test wasn't worth getting 16 other people in trouble. He argued that they got themselves in trouble, but I still said he didn't need to help. I basically explained that to the other kids, including his friends. He's saying that he respects the teacher more than he respects them. Nobody will ever trust him after he lied like that. He thought I'd be proud of him, but not for that. All he did was lie to sell out his friends. My wife is on his side and thinks we should be happy he helped enforce the rules. She argues the kids are solely at fault for looking at the answers, and we should be proud our son helped get some troublemakers in trouble. She also thinks I'm teaching him not to respect authority, and I'm going to make him think breaking the rules is right. Wow, now that's a plot twist you don't see every day. Can you imagine walking into class thinking you're just going to take a test, and suddenly you're in the middle of a sting operation? Not quite the usual math class situation, huh? There's a bit of irony here that's just too delicious to ignore. A teacher, someone we generally look to for guidance and wisdom, devises a plan that's more befitting of a low-budget spy movie than a classroom. And not just any plan, but a scheme so harebrained that it'd make even the wackiest cartoon villain say, well, that's a bit much. Let's not forget our star student turned mole, who's now stuck between a teacher with questionable judgment and his fellow students who are, understandably, less than thrilled with his recent career choices. Let's be real. No amount of extra credit is worth making yourself public enemy number 1 in the hallways. On a side note, I can't help but wonder if there's a lesson in all of this. Maybe something like, don't enlist students in Machiavellian plots against their classmates. Just a wild thought. Mom and Dad both have good points, but the real a-hole is the teacher who, for some reason, thought this was a good idea. In our next Reddit story, OP is seriously questioning whether they should call animal control on a neighbor that has 11 freaking animals in a cramped apartment. Am I the jerk for calling animal control on my friend? I have this friend. She lives in a trailer with her mom, sister, and nephew. They're all on AISH, Assured Income for the Severely Handicapped. All stay home all day, every day, apart from her nephew, still in high school, and do very little apart from playing cards, watching movies, buying things online, and occasionally going for walks. They also have pets. She has a large dog who is on a chain all day. She walks once every other day and barks at everything. If he's not on the chain, then he's in her room. They also have a small kick-me dog and 9 cats. 4 cats and 1 had a litter of 5 in December. The house stinks and I don't invite her over anymore because the last time I did the stink from her clothes got on my couch and chair, and it took a deep cleaning to get it out. She has fetal alcohol syndrome and they all have a huge attachment to all animals. I have suggested that she should at least get a cable to string across the yard so he can run back and forth, but she won't. I've also suggested that a dog that size needs to be walked multiple times a day, and that the chain needs to be moved to different parts of the yard so he can enjoy grass under his feet, and the grass can grow back once in a while. I think it's a bad situation for the animals and the health of the humans, and I'm contemplating making an anonymous call to animal control for the sake of the animals. They only have 2 litter boxes for the cats. So am I the a-hole, or is this maybe a noble call to make? Okay, first off, this story is more packed than a clown car and it's not filled with laughs. We've got a friend, a trailer home, a menagerie of animals, and an olfactory assault that would make a skunk blush. Look, love for animals is fantastic, but it sounds like the living conditions are more suitable for a reality TV show about hoarders. We're not just talking about a potential health hazard for the humans, but a rough deal for the animals too. Our friend here is contemplating an anonymous call to animal control, and I gotta say, it might be more heroic than snitchy. In this zoo-like saga, the only a-holes I'm seeing are the ones not being scooped regularly from those litter boxes. You're not the a-hole, OP. Those animals didn't ask to be cooped up in a tiny apartment. Animals, especially cats, may not show their anxiety well, but those animals are experiencing anxiety. Ever dealt with a kitchen meddler? In this story, we've got one woman, her precious tomato sauce, and a well-meaning but annoying sister-in-law who just can't resist improving recipes. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, doesn't it? I, 28 female, have an older brother, 32, who is married to my sister-in-law, 33. I get along with her well, except for this one point. If you don't keep an eye on her, she will get into the kitchen and add seasonings to whatever is cooking. She thinks she is fixing stuff, but not all foods need turmeric in it. This Saturday, I received 40 pounds of tomatoes. It took me the whole weekend to turn it into a sauce that I was planning to can. I can it plain, then add whatever seasonings and herbs it needs depending on the recipe. They came to take a bag of spare clothes for one of their kids, and in the 5 minutes it took me to get it, she managed to get into the kitchen, add salt, pepper, turmeric, olive oil, garlic powder, and Italian herbs to all 5 of the pots that were simmering on the stove. And when I asked her what she was doing, she had the audacity to say, "This sauce needed some taste, I added it for you." Like I've never told her to not touch what I was cooking before. I was so angry that I knew I couldn't be calm talking with her. So I simply walked to my brother, told him to take the clothes and his wife, and that she is no longer welcome in my house. She had followed me, was shocked, and started apologizing, but I just ignored her. I added that he should come by tomorrow to take the sauce his wife ruined, because otherwise it would be thrown away, and that I expected 40 pounds of replacement tomatoes. They left, he came back with the tomatoes, an apology letter from her, and an apology carrot cake, my favorite. But I told him that I stand by my decision. Now my parents got involved, since I am the one that usually hosts, and since she is not allowed in my house, I told them to make alternate plans for Memorial Day. My husband says that I am in the right, but my parents say that my reaction is way overblown. So am I the a-hole? Wow, where do we start with this one? It's like living with a rogue chef who thinks every dish needs a culinary intervention. I mean, really? It blows my mind how entitled some people are. And the guts to say, this sauce needed some taste. Seriously, as if you asked for her personal episode of MasterChef. And then we've got an apology carrot cake on our hands. That's a new one, right? Points for originality, I guess. But perhaps she could have used that effort on, say, learning when not to meddle in someone else's cooking. At this rate, we'll need a lock on the spice cabinet. You're not the a-hole OP, but I think it's commendable that she wrote an apology letter and made you a carrot cake. Because of that, I'd probably give her one chance, but it's your house, so it's your decision. Hey, wait! Before you go off chasing after your next internet rabbit hole, give that like button a quick little smack. And if you're feeling particularly adventurous today, why not dance with the subscribe button? Join our band of misfits here and let's share the laughter. Anyways, stay safe out there in that crazy world. Much love. Peace.